Really the only change is Danny Talkin occupies the DH spot. He came on yesterday and had a pinch hit double. Tigert deals our first pitch for a strike, and we are underway in Fayetteville. Your umpires this afternoon: Charles Savage Jr., Jeff Wright, Cedric Coleman, and Morris Hodges down at third base. Well, at least we don't have a repeat of yesterday. It was an 0-1 pitch that Vogel took out of the yard. Here comes the 1-1. In there for a strike. But as we saw yesterday, 2 strikes against the leadoff man Vogel. That's when the at-bat's really getting going for him.
Yeah, really patient hitter, and that's what you want out of your leadoff guy. Let that pitcher throw some pitches, let the bench get a little visual effect. But what a great location right there by Brady Tigert, just absolutely dotting the outside corner. And again, when you got 2 strikes in your pitcher, you got to love those competitive strikes. You're off the plate, but it's close enough as a hitter you feel like you just have to protect.
Tigert saying we're going to have none of those long ABs that we saw out of you yesterday. And there's that big league break from Brady Tigert. Just missed a little bit up high to Dustin Mercer. Didn't miss by much. Well, this crowd, as you said, they think a lot of times that they've got the pitcher's back. They want it to be called a strike.
It doesn't hit the backstop. They want that strike. Nice job by Tigert to climb the ladder right there. And that's what that big breaking ball does. It kind of expands that zone, so you see it up in the zone, and sometimes you chase that fastball as well.
Called strike 3.
And the strikeouts just continue for Arkansas. Glancing at strikeouts across the league, you see the fastball right there. Tigert down the zone. Nice job by Ryder Helfrich to frame that one up nicely. But Arkansas pitching staff leading the league in strikeouts. 133 strikeouts so far, and then 2 more added today already.
Helfrich has exclusively been the catcher for Brady Tigert this year now, and this his 3rd start. The 0-1 pitch to Jonathan Hogard in there for a strike. Helfrich said after the first home game that he played against James Madison, catching for Tigert, said he enjoyed just being back there and learning from Brady, watching him work. No one on base, but still, Helfrich takes pride in picking that on the pitch outside. Fouled off. It's the little things, right? How, for a pitcher, you see your catcher go and get one outside and in the dirt early on, even though there's nobody on base, but I think that gives him some confidence later on.
I really do. I mean, I think that is one that Ryder Helfrich just doing it right and just, being with inside every play. But you're right, when you know you can spike one, it gives you a lot of comfort. A couple nice takes right there by Jonathan Hogart. And again, we talk about this Racer lineup, a lot of veterans. Everybody's at least a junior or a senior in this starting lineup. And again, those are the teams that give the Power 5 conference teams a lot of worry.
Trying to work the outside corner there.
Just a bit off.
Got him swinging. Brady Tigert strikes out the side to start off this ball. Coming off a Tuesday start, though, in that blowout win over Grambling, where the junior went 2 for 4 with a pair of walks. So you reach safely 4 out of 6 plate appearances, and that, with his speed, makes him a great fit for that table setter position. out. About took the buttons off the jersey.
Not sure how he got out of the way of that one. The pitch just really got away from Valero. Up and in. Almost wore that one on the rib cage.
Ethan Kreisen once again behind the dish for the Racers. This is up and in, 3-0.
Defensively, the Racers are playing Edmondson really straight away. The wind's really blowing in from right field, so you'll see those right fielders playing pretty shallow.
A 4-pitch walk for Edmondson to start things off. Well, the first inning has been Arkansas's most productive this year. They've plated 14 runs in the first frame through 9 games.
This kind of really sets the tone if you score in that first inning, and especially if you score a pair of runs or more.
Yeah, when you look at the Arkansas starting rotation, their ERA on the season is a 1.63, and Tigard's even better than that in 2 starts. So you get a couple of early ones, and for all intents and purposes, it's pretty much been over.
You've really seen these Racer pitchers try to work the bottom part of the zone against these Razorback hitters, and it seems like Arkansas has really laid off those pitches outside the zone, not expanding. Really good pitcher's pitch right there by Valero.
It's the first strike he's thrown. He's not a guy that misses the zone much. 12 strikeouts to just 2 walks in his first 2 appearances this year. Runner taken off. The throw, and in time. How about the quick tag there by Drew Vogel?
It looked like that Will Edmondson kind of spun his wheels a little bit, and you see that sometimes here at Baum Walker with a little bit of wet track early after the grounds crew comes in and waters it. It seems like he didn't get a very good jump. That's a really great job right there by Vogel to pick that ball, and I would have thought that Edmondson might have just held on at first base if he kind of stumbled just a bit out of the gate.
It's the first time Edmondson's been caught this year. He was a perfect 3 for 3.
And I'll tell you one thing that give a lot of credit for Bryce Valero. You know, he's about 1-3 or 1-4 to the plate. If you're right around 1-3, you're going to give your catcher a pretty good opportunity to try to throw someone out. I mean, you get at those, some of those guys are 1-5, maybe 1-6, and it makes it awful tough.
It's the second batter that Kreisen has gunned down this year. What was that? A little flicker there by the starter Valero. Out of Fortson, Georgia, transfer from Motlow State Community College, second year with Murray State. And Kendall Diggs will take a walk.
Makes that caught stealing by Edmondson look that much better. That's going to bring out a visit from the Murray State pitching coach.
Team leading 9th walk of the year for Kendall Diggs. Well, the head coach Dan Skirka, as we talked to him yesterday, Troy, he couldn't say enough good things about his pitching coach, Steven Adkins, who's now in his second year. He didn't come in until midway through the fall of last season, and so if you don't have the kind of takeover right at the beginning of when players arrive on campus, it's hard to get work done. But they still had a good year pitching, but they expect even better things this year.
Yeah, and they got a really veteran staff, and I think that attributes a lot. But yeah, you've got, when you put a lot of trust in that pitching coach and you have a lot of faith in them, that's super important. So how about this for Vahiva Aloy yesterday? He looked at his first pitch, swung at the next 9 that he saw. He's talking about aggressive at the plate. That is Vahiva Aloy.
The average exit velo on his 2 hits, 102.
I think that would have snapped my spine if I would have swung like that. Talk about not getting cheated.
Aloy tees off on this. Deep left field at the track, and making the catch is Hawthorne. He put a charge into that thing.
105 exit velocity, but just got under it a bit. And we talked a little bit about that wind. It's going to knock a lot of balls down, especially a ball that's that high. He thought it had a chance off the bat, but that wind's going to be blowing straight in from right field. It's going to affect everything. Really safe lead over there for Kendall Diggs.
You mentioned how quick Valero gets the ball to the plate to deter base runners. He holds them well. In fact, when Edmondson tried to steal, that's the first attempted base stealer on Valero all year, and he's already pitched 8 innings.
Well, you can watch, he has a really low leg kick with runners on base, and not quite a slide step, but pretty close, and that allows him to get that ball to the plate and allow the catcher an opportunity to throw that runner out.
Strike to even the count to McLaughlin. 0 for 2 with a pair of walks yesterday. The senior from Golden, Colorado. Had an RBI and scored one himself.
Almost every left-handed batter Murray State has been playing in the shift, so the shortstop on the right side of second base. Again, it's Murray State kind of uses a really unique way to hold the runners on at first base. So first baseman Howell has to catch the ball and almost kind of tag behind himself to find that base runner. A pretty changeup right there by Bryce Valero. 76 miles an hour. Talking about pulling the string.
Slow hopper to first. No problems for Howell, who steps on the bag himself. Razorbacks leave one stranded in the first. We're scoreless through one. Got high hopes this year as well.
Yeah, right now I think they're sitting number 2. Indiana State is the number 1 team so far in the conference. They are picked to win the conference, but Murray State, again, with all that upper class depth, it's going to give everybody a run for their money.
Well, the transition to the Valley has been very competitive in all sports. And this baseball program, they'd like to be the first to win a Missouri Valley Conference title for the university. Brady Tigert having his way so far with these hitters, though, as he strikes out Hawthorne to begin the second.
Well, it's the difference in the velocity of the breaking ball. Again, that is 2,800 on the spin rate. You've seen Brady get as high up over 3,000 at times, but that's a big league breaking ball. And again, out of the hand, it looks like it's going to be a ball, and then the depth on it is just absolutely crazy. But you throw the fastball 91, 92, 93, and then you come back and throw the breaking ball at about 74. Talking about almost 20 miles an hour difference. That's tough to deal with.
Carson Garner, who's having a dynamite year, but looking for a much better day today than what he had yesterday. The man who's hit 5 homers already this season went 0 for 4. Chops this to third, backhanded by Sprague Lott, and a nice pick over at first by McLaughlin.
Sometimes you tell infielders you don't want to back up on a ground ball, but sometimes you got to get the right hop.
Look at the changes defensively from a day ago. Nolan Souza at second base. Edmondson in center. Two outs and a first pitch strike to Taylor Howell with the bases empty.
Talk about a guy that takes some hacks, Taylor Howell. He does not get cheated at the plate.
Howell yesterday was down to his final strike. Murray State was down to their final strike in the game. He ended up reaching on a pass ball, third strike, to keep the hopes alive momentarily. This time, Helfrich going to make sure that doesn't happen. Completes the strikeout, and another 1-2-3 frame for Tiger. And we've got more than our money's worth today. So we start things off at the bottom of the second. Jared Sprague-Lott, the leadoff man, occupying the fifth spot in the lineup for 22nd-year head coach Dave Van Horn, reigning SEC Coach of the Year. And it appears like Coach Van Horn and his staff have hit on another transfer. Troy had something they've done so well, as we've seen in past years, but Sprague-Lott fitting right in.
Yeah, he's really done a nice job over there at third base, and again, swinging the bat very well so far early on this season.
Transfer from Richmond, native of Philadelphia, a team leading 568 OBP, and has reached safely 12 times in the last 4 games.
That'll keep you in the lineup, won't it?
Without a doubt. Chase that breaking ball down low in the zone. And an easy ground ball for Drew Vogel, the shortstop. There's the 3-time SEC Coach of the Year. 7 College World Series appearances. Reason to believe for the Hog faithful that this team has got as good a shot as any to get back to Omaha.
Yeah, I think they really do. They've got a tremendous amount of talent. Probably one of the deepest pitching staffs they've had in several years. Just a lot of impressive freshmen that have really stepped up.
Ross Lovich in the lineup as the DH this afternoon. Transfer from Missouri, went 3 for 3 on Tuesday against Grambling with 2 runs driven in.
Bryce Valero really settling in nicely. A little bit of command issues in his first batter, but other than that, mixing speeds, hitting his spots. That's the thing about pitcher, like college pitchers, even big league pitchers. You don't have to throw 99 miles an hour. You just have to hit your spots and change speeds.
Gets Lovich swinging. First strikeout for Bryce Valero.
90 on that fastball. A little extra life. You're in great location at the bottom part of the zone. You see Lovich swing right over the top of that fastball.
Jason Jones nearly swings out of his shoes on the first pitch here.
It was Jones yesterday with the big bases loaded double down the right field line. And just a guy that just has, it's just different the way the ball comes off his bat. Just tremendous exit velocity.
Hit to the right side. Logan Bland is on it. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Valero and Murray State. Kind of, you can tell what Matt Hobbs means to these players and to this program. Happy birthday, Coach Hobbs. Also sharing a birthday with former Razorback great Kevin Kopps. But, I mean, just a marvelous job with this staff. And as you pointed out, Troy, if he wanted to, he could be in professional baseball easily.
Yeah, very, very easily. He's turned down several interviews, and then I think it was maybe a couple years ago that the Yankees called him to be their big league pitching coach, and DVH said, you have to at least go interview. And he's like, well, I'm happy where I'm at. And he said, no, it's the Yankees. You have to go interview. So he did. But him and his family are very happy here. I asked him, I said, Coach, are you 31? He said, I'll take it.
Hey, if your pitching staff is on pace to strike out more batters in a weekend series than whatever your age is, then you know things are going well in your line of work.
Yeah, just the ability for Brady Tiger to throw at the top of the strike zone is very impressive. And sometimes you've got a guy that's got a really good spin rate like Tiger, a ball that holds plane better. It's really effective at the top of the zone.
Back into the seats.
Today's one of those days that if the ball's popped up, everybody better stay on it, because this wind might blow it from the stands back into the field of play. Blowing straight in from right field, almost maybe foul pole to foul pole, but a good 20 miles an hour wind. So if you hit it out to right field, you've hit a shot.
Sits down Ethan Kreisen. Just on the outer edge with that breaking ball.
And there are some pitches as a hitter you just can't do anything with, and that's one of them right there.
Seventh strikeout, second looking. Here's the bottom of the lineup, Logan Bland. He was the only man that did not strike out yesterday. Bland finished 0 for 2 with a walk. But on a day where his teammates combined to strike out 20 times, he was not one of them.
With speed like his, he was going to make Brady Tiger throw a strike.
He tees off here. Playable in center for Edmondson. Well struck, but the wind helps knock it down. And it's another 1-2-3 inning. Brady Tigert's first fly ball of the baseball game. We're scoreless, headed for the bottom. Having another great year for Georgia.
Boy, he really is. He's leading the league in batting average, .590, slugging percentage. How about this? 1308, on base percentage, .660. I think he's doing okay.
Georgia team, they were in action yesterday against Georgia Tech, had a 9-3 lead, and then rain came in the top of the fifth, and you have to complete a minimum of 4.5 innings. If it's the team that's behind, they get 5 team at bats. So they were 3 outs away from securing the win when the rain came, and those two are now in action this afternoon. But it was controversial, to say the least.
I think that everybody was happy with that decision.
No.
Good eye right there. And again, that's what, so far in this ball game, Arkansas hitters have done a nice job of trying to lay off the pitches down in the zone by Valero. And I love that mentality, that what he's trying to do.
Nolan Souza draws the walk. There's been 3 Hawaiian natives play for the Razorbacks, and 2 of them are in the lineup today, in Vahiba Aloy and Nolan Souza. And coaching staff can say, see, we get a little bit of nice weather here early in the season.
That's right. The other was Rick Nomura, and a little connection that Rick Nomura is the assistant coach of the high school that Nolan Souza attended. And he called Coach Van Horn and said, hey, I've got a good one over here. You need to take a look at it.
Helfert trying to get the bunt down. Souza from Honolulu, which is on the island of Oahu, while Aloy hails from Wailuku on the island of Maui.
Say that fast 3 times.
Right. That was the one time for the weekend. I'm done now.
Okay.
Meanwhile, in Discovery Bay, California, a blooming catcher named Ryder Helfrich coming to Northwest Arkansas and having a good start to his career. First career hit was a solo homer, and quickly dawned his teammates to start calling him Mike Trout. I think the real welcome to college baseball, though, is after his homer, he took a 4-pitch walk and then got plunked. So that's the real welcome to college baseball.
There you go, absolutely.
Battles went off here. He went 1 for 1 with a walk against Grambling on Tuesday night.
DVH kind of compares Ryder Helfrich to big leaguer James McCann. That's some pretty good company to keep.
No doubt.
Definitely does not look like a freshman.
Well, the future looks bright at the catcher position. It's always been solid, of course, but you have Hudson White, who's projected to get drafted. He's on pretty much everybody's draft board. You have Hudson Polk and Parker Rowland, who are both seniors. Souza taken off. Throw down to second, not in time. First stolen base attempt in the career of Nolan Souza.
A really good jump by Souza right there. He did take a little peek back. The throw on the shortstop side of second base, so no attempt by Bland on the tag.
Popped up on the right side. Taylor Howell able to track it down. That's a huge first out for Murray State, not allowing Souza to get down to third base.
I think that's a really good point, is to get that hop out and just keep Souza where he is. And now you almost feel like that Arkansas is going to have to mix in another hit somewhere unless you see a wild pitch pass ball.
Back to the top of the lineup and Will Edmondson. Yeah, who knows? With the way the wind has knocked down a couple of would-be home run balls already today and the quality of pitching you have on both sides, who knows? It might only take 1 or 2 to win this thing. Bryce Valero, who was the Game 2 starter on opening weekend, went 5 innings with just 1 hit, struck out 6, and gave 2 free passes. And then they brought him out of the bullpen at Louisiana Monroe last Saturday. They've had weather kind of get in the way of their first 2 weekends. And so they mixed some things up and brought Valero on out of the bullpen because they were going pretty good. And he struck out 6 with just 1 walk and 3 relief innings.
Tell you what, this Racer Ball Club, they're not afraid to pick at second base. That's the second time in 2 games that they've put on a play and had that pitcher spin around, and both throws to the second base have been spot on. So if you're a Razorback out there on the bases, you better be on your toes.
It's the first stolen base with Valero on the mound all year.
Big hole between first and second base for Edmondson to shoot one into right field.
Line towards center, it'll fall in. Stopping at third is Souza.
Off the bat, you just didn't know if that thing was going to carry to center field. And Souza freezes. Watch Souza freeze in this frame right here. He sees it hit, and he's like, I just want to make sure that that ball gets down. Good job by Mercer, the center fielder. Kind of looked like he might get to that baseball, and then Souza takes third base. But the Racers still have the double play in order.
Well, with runners on third and less than 2 outs, Kendall Diggs is a perfect 2 for 2 this year in bringing in that run. See if the veteran can keep that trend going here.
So you had Edmondson thrown out, caught stealing earlier in the ball game. I would say they're probably going to give Kendall Diggs a couple pitches to look at, and then you might start him try to stay out of that double play.
Another pickoff move.
So this is not Major League Baseball. In college, you could throw over there 100 times if you want to.
Yep. First pitch strike to Diggs. They've got the shift on Diggs big time here, as they did yesterday, but he did hit the ball to the left side in 2 of his at-bats on Friday.
Bland, the second baseman, swung way around to first base, really trying to take away that ball that might be just past the first baseman. This is a count you think that if Edmondson's going to go, a lot of times on 1 ball, 2 strikes, you think you might get an off-speed pitch. And if it is a fastball, you think that Diggs is going to put bat on ball.
Pitch got him swinging. Huge strikeout for Bryce Valero.
Valero, he reached back and got a little something extra, and 90 on that fastball. That's a ball that Kendall Diggs wants back again. That was right belt high on the outer third.
Second strikeout for Valero. And now the catcher Kreisen coming out to have a word. You think that's anything right there saying, hey, beware of the delayed double steal with 2 outs?
I think so. He's just really wanted to say, hey, we're almost out of this inning. If we can just concentrate on the batter right here, the guy steals, he steals. You got a free swinger in Aloy. Just missed a home run in his last at-bat.
Here we go. Trying to bring that up to the strike zone was Kreisen, but not to the umpire's liking. You set the stage up yesterday. You said, boy, he'd really been hitting it hard in BP and thought he was kind of primed to break out. And what do you know? Next pitch gets a hit, 1 of 2 on the day.
Dandy changeup right there by Bryce Valero. Yeah, you feel like that Aloy's staying on his pitches a little bit better. Kind of hitting that ball to right field, right center during BP.
Back over the mound. Bland has got it. Steps on the bag. Side retired. Valero and company able to get out of a jam, and we remain scoreless.
You got a lot of veterans on the mound. 3 juniors as your starters. Just a lot of guys that throw hard and throw a lot of strikes. I think that's one of the keys, is they've just guys with good command.
Brady Tigard's got 7 of them so far today. Only Florida State entered the weekend with more strikeouts per 9 innings than Arkansas. The Seminoles with 15.6, Arkansas at 13.9. Of course, after yesterday, the pitching staff striking out 20. That number's coming on up. But both of these teams entered the weekend with elite level strikeout to walk ratio. In fact, both were top 3 in the nation. Arkansas at 4.9 strikeout to walk, and Murray State 4.3.
I just really like Drew Vogel's approach at the plate. Some guys just look like hitters and just are just pesky. It's hard to strike out there. You feel like they're going to make contact the majority of the time.
Look out. Well, there you go. The umpire said that Vogel leaned into it. Now he'll give the explanation to head coach Dan Skirka. What say you?
That's tough. It looked like it was going to hit him anyway. But I think that Charles Savage, the home plate umpire, has got a pretty good case. See if that elbow doesn't pop out right here. Yeah, he kind of rolled into it just a little bit.
Dan Skirka in his 6th year, very respectfully, just asking for the clarification there. He was an assistant coach at Murray State from 2009 to 2014. And it looks like they're going to go to the review here. Brings up Dustin Mercer.
Tiger not wasting any pitches, going right after Mercer. 0-2.
Oh-2 pitch. High in the bright blue sky to left field. Jason Jones makes the catch. 2 away.
That is one that you have to definitely play the wind if you're Jones. You got to keep that ball to the left of you because it's going to blow back toward the stands.
Brings up Jonathan Hogart. Went 0 for 3 with a walk yesterday. Hogart worked a full count his first time up before Tigard struck him out with a breaking ball.
About 16 inches of horizontal break and a spin rate of 28.33. That last pitch.
I've even seen that spin rate be up over 3,000 at times for Tigard, which is ridiculous. Guy that missed 8 weeks last year with a UCL strain, returned in late April and returned in a starting role. Turned on and lined into left. Jonathan Hogart breaks up the no-hitter and the perfect game in the process here in the 4th.
Yeah, good hitters hit. Hogart, for that at-bat, was hitting 380. That's a great pitch right there. That's not even in the strike zone. Hogart goes down and gets And just ripped a bullet out into left field. How about 101 off the bat on that slow breaking ball?
Brings up Riley Hawthorne.
Arkansas defensively in the outfield playing very deep, especially in center and left.
Chopped right back to the mound. Tigert, easy underhand toss to first, and the side retired. Murray State gets their first base runner, but
rotation, and you know what you're going to get out of a veteran pitcher. They're always going to compete. They're always going to put the ball in the strike zone, and you've got a chance to win when you've got a veteran on the mound. And so far, Bryce Valero's looked really good. See if Ben McLaughlin is really patient right here. Arkansas, with only that one hit, each team's got a pair of hits, so not a whole lot of offense so far in this ball game. It's just kind of rolling right along.
McLaughlin, who walked twice yesterday, gives the Razorbacks their third leadoff walk of this ball game. It was Souza last inning and Will Edmondson in the bottom of the first.
Not much of a threat to steal on first base is McLaughlin, so you'll see him have a really pretty safe lead. Looks like that Kreisen, the catcher, is having a little issue with his earpiece. Really good opportunity for the Racers to try to turn two.
This is surprising for Valero, who's already walked 4 batters now. He had only walked 1 in each of his first 2 appearances this year that covered 8 innings. And only once last season did he walk 4 batters in a game.
He's been able to pitch around those walks, and this is going to bring Dan Skirka to the mound. I think he might go to the pen right here. I think he's seeing his right-hander kind of having a little bit of issue with command.
It's kind of one of those where Arkansas, a team that has thrived on walks, you can't expect.
Another tall, big-bodied right-hander. Pennington just can kind of do it all. Again, the fastball is going to sit in that low 90s. We'll throw the curve slider and the change. The big thing about Pennington is he's very quick to the plate. He's between 1.25 and 1.4. Excuse me. Yeah, 1.4. And so it's going to be really tough for teams to try to steal bases off of Pennington. Kind of has that 3/4 arm slot. A little bit of a funky delivery. That slider's going to have a lot of sweep to it, so you might see him throw that to right-handed batters.
Jared Sprague-Lott, the hitter. It's down the bunt. Pennington off the mound, and he'll just eat it smartly. Great bunt by Sprague-Lott.
Well, you couldn't have caught the ball and rolled it out with your hand any better than that. This picture perfect placement, dead net ball. You see Pennington bounce off the mound. He fields it barehanded, and that's a wise move. That's where your catcher, Kreisen's going to have to tell him to eat it or let that ball go to first.
Look out. Lovich gets hit. And immediately Dan Skirka coming out to talk with home plate umpire Charles Savage Jr. Now remember, earlier in this game, Drew Vogel was called out for leaning into a pitch. The play was reviewed and upheld. And he might have been asking, hey, was that a similar situation there?
You can just tell by the sound. Let's see where that pitch is. Way up and in. Yeah, caught Lovich on that left forearm wrist area. Not what you want out of your reliever.
Bases loaded up for Jason Jones. Yesterday, second inning, bases loaded, 2 RBI double. On Tuesday, a grand slam. What does he have in store here? Has to duck this pitch.
If you're Jones, you're thinking, I got to get my head out of the way of this pitch, but then you also think about your bat. You come down, you got to get that bat out of the way. Sitting in the driver's seat right now is Jason Jones.
Offense has been lacking at times this year for Arkansas, but in this situation, bases loaded, they are hitting .400 as a team. Taken all the way there, 3-0. No place to put him. 3-1 pitch. And this game has got its first run. A bases loaded walk. Now that's impressive for Jones. He's already got a grand slam on the week. Yesterday he had the bases loaded hit. It might be easy to come up there with some adrenaline saying, I'm going to be the big hero again, and instead he just lets the game come to him.
Yeah, I think that shows some maturity in Jones. And again, those are the little things that coaches, they see and they're aware of. You know, do you try to do too much in a big situation?
Nolan Souza going after the first pitch. He walked his first time up, got his first career stolen base.
I think that's good for Jacob Pennington to get ahead of Souza right there. Throw your first pitch for a strike, and that kind of takes a little edge off for the right-hander.
Jason Jones, the team's RBI leader, now with 11 on the year. A bunt single, a hit by pitch, and a walk for Jacob Pennington out of the bullpen, who made his season debut on the mound against Louisiana Monroe last Friday. Went 7 shutout innings with only 4 hits, 9 strikeouts, no walks. Hard hit, back up the middle. In to score is Sprague Lott. Here comes Lovich. 3-0 Razorbacks.
Really nice controlled swing right there by Souza. That's a pitch that's outside the zone, down. Great pitch by Pennington, just a better swing by Souza. And the freshman from Hawaii delivers a pair of RBIs.
First in the career of Nolan Souza.
2 of those 3 runners were free base runners, Josh. The hit by pitch and the walk. Both have come around to score.
All 5 have reached safely in this 4th inning. Again, Bryce Valero, the starter, pulled after issuing his 4th walk to start the inning, and they go to Pennington. Valero, 57 pitches, 30 for strikes. He struck out 2, walked 4. But of course, only responsible for 1 of the runs. Grounded to short, flipped to second for 1, relay to first in time. 6-4-3 double play, so no RBI for Helfrich, but it does tack on a run, and it's 4-zip Razorbacks.
It's the ball off the end of the bat. Nice job by Vogel to Bland, and they just get Helfrich, and Helfrich was really rolling down that first base line.
Now he's got some wheels for a catcher.
We want to check on, I thought they're checking on the first baseman to see if Helfrich actually stepped on the foot of the first baseman, possibly. He's going to go talk to his first baseman, making sure he's okay.
Taylor Howell kind of looking. Back to the top of the lineup, and Will Edmondson, who's been productive today, a hit and a walk.
How about 3 of the 4 runs scored in this inning by Arkansas? A walk, a hit batter, and a walk. Just 1 single sprinkled in between there by Sprague Lott. And that was the bunt single. It's not like that Arkansas is peppering the ball around the field.
Up for ball 2. Pennington gets the strikeout to end the inning, but Arkansas hangs a crooked. Yeah, so far, so good. The injuries that Arkansas had to endure last year. Brady Tigert, who missed basically 2 months when you get right down to it, 8 weeks altogether with that UCL strain, and returned late April in a starting role. On the appeal, first base ump says he did not go. Brady added some weight in the offseason. This ball turned on and hit a ton. Deep left center, going back. It is gone. Carson Garner. It's been a tough weekend so far, but he breaks out of the slump with 1 big swing, his 6th bomb of the year, and Murray State is on the board.
Really nice swing by Carson Garner. That's a fastball up and away, and he just had some great extension. 90 miles an hour coming in. How about exit velocity of 100? This pitch is up and away. Not a bad pitch, but definitely up in the zone, and shot that one through the wind.
First home run that Tigert's given up this year. Fouled off by Howell. Team leading 14th RBI for Carson Garner. And after homering 5 times in the first 5 games of the year, he quickly started turning some heads. Coach Dan Skirka's been getting calls from scouts about him, along with a few other of his guys. Good recovery here, though, for Brady Tigert. Gets the strikeout
Just that big sweeping breaking ball right there. It starts in the zone and just knifes down and away.
Nine strikeouts now for Tigert. So the Arkansas pitching staff, double-digit strikeouts in all but one game so far this year, and at least 20 strikeouts as a staff in 3 of the last 5 ball games.
That's just crazy.
Now, given one of those was that marathon game against Oklahoma State, but they reached 20 before they got to extra innings. So, streak continues. There's a big shift mid-count for the Razorbacks. Sprague Lott, the third baseman, is now playing to the right of second.
Yeah, a lot of times teams will feel like with 2 strikes that hitters have a tendency to really kind of pull everything. They want to get out in front of it. See Arkansas right there. And a lot of teams will leave that shortstop in their natural position. A little bit down. Helford tried to pull that one back in the zone. Good eye right there by Talkin.
Talkin with a double yesterday. Tigert sits him down. Strikeout number 10.
Brady Tigert's not wasting a lot of pitches. With 2 strikes, he's going right at these racer hitters. Talkin just swung right underneath that high fastball. Kreisen with a really unique stance there. He really holds those hands almost like straight in front of his chest.
New career high in strikeouts today for Tigert.
Nice job by Kreisen laying off a couple breaking balls down the zone. Now he's in the hitter's count 2-1. Brady just trying to nibble and left that one outside.
This laced into left center for a base hit.
That was just a really quality at bat by Ethan Kreisen. Got ahead in the count, got the fastball really down in the zone. He went down and got it. Again, you're going to get quality at bats day in, day out from these racer hitters.
Brings up Logan Bland, who hit the ball hard first time up, but a fly out to left center.
Arkansas does have some action down in the bullpen.
Out, gets away from Tigert a little bit. And we asked Coach Dan Skirka, how do you describe Logan Bland, the redshirt senior who's now in his second year as the starting second baseman? He said just consistent. Said that with the utmost confidence. You know, last year their shortstop Vogel got hurt early in the year, and so they moved Bland over there for the time being, and was a great table setter at the top of the lineup as well. And with good wheels, he's kind of like that second leadoff man at the bottom of the order. And he'll take a walk.
turns that racer lineup over for Drew Vogel.
Well, don't look now, but with runners on base, hitters are just 1 of 11 against Brady Tiger. Buries that one outside. Well done by Ryder Helfrich.
Vogel hitting .375 with runners in scoring position this year. Hitting .300 with 2 outs. That's pretty impressive as well, too.
One.
Now Tygiert's in the driver's seat right here. He can try to bust him in with a fastball or throw that big breaking ball. It starts in the outside corner and it dives down and away. If you're Helfrich, you've got to smother it. That's where you want to throw him. That's a competitive pitch, but off the plate. You always watch what the catcher does. You can see Helfrich trying to pull that one back. He knows it's off the plate.
Slow roller to short. Aloy going to come to first with it and gets Vogel by a half step to get the Razorbacks out of the inning. A 4-1 lead for the Razorbacks as they come to the plate here in the bottom of the 5th. Kendall Diggs will lead things off. And back on the bump for Jacob Pennington, the veteran right-hander who's pitched in this ballpark before. Back in 2021 when Murray State came here, Pennington came on out of the bullpen in a game that Arkansas ended up coming back to win. That was the opening game of the series on March 5th, 2021. Diggs tees off and kissed that goodbye. Big shot for Kendall Diggs, and it was only a matter of time before the right fielder hit his first of the year.
A fastball up and in by Kendall Diggs. 104 exit velocity off the bat. That's one way to get the crowd rolling. Very patient, up and in. He knew he got it. Playing with a little flair is Kendall Diggs. Get about halfway up that net.
Pennington in that relief outing here in this ballpark 3 years ago. 3 2/3, 5 strikeouts, no walks, 4 hits, and 2 earned runs. Gave up a home run to Robert Moore. Vahivo Aloy, another guy that might be primed to hit his first home run at any point with how hard he's been hitting the baseball lately. Lifted up to center. And out of the glove of Mercer. How about the hustle by Aloy? Able to get into second.
Aloy caught that one way on the end of the bat. I think Mercer thought that ball would carry out to him a little bit better, but we talked about that wind really out there on the end of the bat. He kind of went back his first step, came in, he had a beat on it, and just that last little bit of gust of wind. Here's Aloy not giving up on that ball, just running the whole way. Tell you, that's why you've always got to hustle on every play. You never know what's going to happen. No outs right here. McLaughlin's job is to hit this baseball to the right-hand side. See if they don't try to pitch him away.
McLaughlin lifts it up to shallow right center, and this will fall in. Aloy gets the stop sign. No sense in chancing it there with nobody out.
It's a little jam shot out there in center field. Baseball's a funny sport, Josh. Sometimes you hit one on the screws, it gets caught, you get jammed, and it just finds the Bermuda Triangle out there in shallow outfield. And that's a great hustle right there by Mercer. He comes up and throws a strike to the plate.
A couple of Texas leaguers. The play that Aloy reached on was scored as an error. Jared Sprague-Lott, who was the first batter to face this pitcher, Jacob Pennington, when he came out of the pen last inning, laid down a great bunt. Pennington just had to eat it.
You'd see Sprague-Lott see a steady diet of breaking balls right here. There's back-to-back curves.
A career .315 hitter for the Richmond Spiders. 21 career homers. And in this position, Sprague-Lott's a good guy to have at the plate. He only struck out last year 14 times in 53 games. And this is that situation where you just want to put one in play.
Yeah, even a double play ground ball is going to produce a run for Arkansas, maybe unless it's back to the pitcher.
Sprague-Lott 2 for 2 this year with runners on third and less than 2 outs.
Yeah, defensively, you've got the Racers playing Bland, the second baseman, to the left of second base. So they've got the shift on for Sprague-Lott even in this double play situation.
Little liner snag by Bland. What a play.
That's perfect positioning right there. Normally, Bland's going to be swung around just a little bit more toward first base, and I don't think he gets to that baseball. See him right behind second base and times his leap perfectly. Lovich, one of those transfers from Missouri along with Ty Wilmsmeyer.
This smoked right off the glove and down the right field line. Aloy in to score. Lovich into second. Runs coming in bunches now for Arkansas.
98 off the bat of Ross Lovich. Kind of tomahawked that one, but just a pellet. Howell gets a piece of it. That allows Aloy just to cruise on in, and then Ben McLaughlin scampering over to third base. See Ross Lovich, he's pretty fired up.
First extra base hit as a Razorback for Lovich. Third RBI.
Murray State bringing the infield in. They feel like they can't afford to give up any more runs.
This was a scoreless ball game going into the bottom of the fourth. Razorbacks put a 4 spot on the board last inning with only 2 hits. Leading off this inning with a home run was Kendall Diggs. A couple of troublesome balls to the shallow outfield. And then the double by Lovich. That's in for a strike to even the count at 2 to Jason Jones.
See that defensively, the Racers, that infield in. Again, just anything hard on the ground is going to be tough for them to come up with and try to cut that run down at the plate.
Lifts this up down the right field line. Hogart making the run, and it's off the tarp. Jones will get a second chance. Boy, if there was anybody in the Arkansas lineup that you don't want to have to play in, if you're an infielder, it's with Jason Jones at the plate.
Yeah, when a guy's going, 105, 110 off the bat, that's a little bit scary.
Grand slam he hit on Tuesday was estimated 425 feet. Had an RBI walk last time up. Now it gets interesting. Payoff. Little jam flared into center field. It'll score 1.
Arkansas's not hitting the cover off the baseball, but their hits are very productive. Again, really good pitch by Pennington. He just wishes that he had guys using wooden bats instead of aluminum bats or a composite. You see Lovich scoring easily.
Number 3, Souza.
Jones pushes his team RBI lead to 12. And his second today, 4th of the series. Here's Nolan Souza, who had a 2 RBI base hit last time up. And here comes Murray State head coach Dan Skirka. It's probably just to talk things over, because from the looks of things, I don't know if they had anybody hot quite yet. Or maybe they did.
Yeah, they are going to the pen.
Indeed. They will go to the bullpen here in the bottom of the 5th. With a walk and scored a run.
Racers would love to see a ground ball double play and get out of this one.
Fouled off.
That's the one Polk wants back right there. Really safe lead at first base by Jason Jones. He's not going anywhere.
Two-one. Hit to straightaway center. And Mercer has got it. Deep enough, though. Here comes the throw. And bounces off of Kreisen. Sliding in safe. Roslovich, 4th run of the frame.
That was a great job by Mercer. Really got behind that baseball. I think he almost got behind it too much with that wind. But that's what Hudson Polk's job is to do, is just hit that baseball to the outfield, give his team a chance to get an RBI, and Mercer made that play really close to the plate.
Brings up Ryder Helfrich. Believe it or not, that's Arkansas's first sac fly of the year. That's in for a strike. (3-1). Both teams hitting leadoff home runs in their respective fifths. It was Carson Garner to lead off the top of the 5th. Murray State would end up bringing the tying run to the plate in the 5th. And so very much a ball game. Arkansas got out of it and then comes into the bottom half. Kendall Diggs leads it off. The floodgates opens. Helfrich able to get just enough.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine that Arkansas with the 7-run lead right now, like you said, an inning ago or half inning ago, that the Racers had the opportunity to knot this game up at 4.
Payoff pitch number 2 misses. And 2 aboard now with 2 outs. First time that Helfrich's been aboard today.
Now batting for the Razorbacks, number 19, Will Edmondson.
Now the 5th inning this year had been Arkansas's 2nd best run producing inning, scoring 12 runs through the first 9 games.
If I'm Edmondson, I'm being very aggressive on this first pitch.
9th batter of the inning.
You can see these Arkansas hitters going to that wristband. They've got a digital display of what the coaches want them to do.
Well, this is trouble. You walk him and you load up the bases and bring up Kendall Diggs, who homered to lead off the inning.
I think if I'm Murray State right here, I just intentionally walk him. I don't even throw this pitch right here.
Pickoff move. What a play by Logan Bland.
That is the 3rd time in 3 games. Second time today that the Racer pitcher has fired to second base. It was a great pick by Bland.
Boy, out in front of this. That's an attention-getting foul ball out of play down in the left field corner. Three of the last 4 batters have worked a full count. Payoff. Grounded through the 5-6 hole. Green light given to Jones, who will come around to score. Second hit of the day for Edmondson.
Now batting for the Razorbacks, number 5, Kendall.
And here comes Kendall Diggs with 2 outs. Here's what he did to start the inning.
Got a 1-1 pitch up in the zone. Just hammered that baseball out to left field. It's a big opportunity for Arkansas really to open this up. Kendall showing his appreciation for the fans in the hog pen. It's going to bring out Coach Atkins, the pitching coach for the Racers, talking to his left-hander right here.
This Murray State team, 30 wins or more in each of the last 3 seasons. You love the a 5-run inning. For a strike, evens the count. Diggs has reached safely at least twice now in 9 of 10 games, including today, and that home run makes it where he's hit safely in all 10 games this year.
Really good take right there with on the 1-1 count by Diggs. Now he's back in the hitter's count.
Guy who knows how to hit with 2 outs. Last year, amongst all the star power Arkansas had, Diggs had a team-leading 30 2-out RBI. And for a strike and another full count.
Motion offense, motion.
Diggs takes a walk.
Really, really borderline pitch right there. Could have gone either way.
Now batting for the Razorbacks, number 9, Aloy.
Second walk issued by Jordan Naranjo. And here comes head coach Dan Skirka. And he'll have to make another call to the bullpen here in this rough 5th inning. 2 outs, bases loaded. Murray State will bring on another right-hander. We'll tell you who it is when we...
I don't think you have to tell Vahiva Aloy to be aggressive at the plate because you got bases loaded. You're probably going to see a lot of first pitch strikes.
Well, Aloy this year is 2 for 3 with the bases loaded.
That's trouble.
Trying to barehand it. Vogel, what a play. A Big league effort by the shortstop and team captain Drew Vogel to get the Racers out of the inning.
Absolute dynamite play. Probably at least 50% of the time. He's not going to be overpowering. He's going to sit in that upper 80s, maybe 90. But the cutter is the difference maker, and he can throw it in any count, in any location.
Great day for the starter, Brady Tigert. Finishes with a career high 10 strikeouts. And the first pitch here to Dustin Mercer, lifted up into right. Diggs makes the catch, and there's one out.
That's the thing you're going to see out of Will McIntyre, a guy that just pitches to contact.
Now batting number 15, Jonathan Hogarth.
First pitch to Jonathan Hogarth. He goes after it. Fouls off another. Peyton Holt is now at second base. Nolan Souza started the game there. Arkansas pinch hit for him in the fifth. There's Peyton. Got him. Great start here for McIntyre, getting the first two batters in the top of the sixth.
Good job by McIntyre throwing up in the zone. Again, a pitch that's just off the outside corner, but we've talked about it many times. Those competitive strikes with pitches with two strikes is so tough to lay off of.
Hawthorne line towards right, running in. Diggs makes the catch. Good first step by Kendall Diggs and a read off the bat. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Will McIntyre. Hogs in front, 9-1. It's going to be a fun year when we hit conference play.
Yeah, just a gauntlet. And how about Alabama beating number 20 Indiana? They double-digit win yesterday against them. That was an absolute blowout. It is incredible depth in the SEC. It's such a gauntlet. I'm not a real big fan of not having divisions next year.
Yeah, it always made it. It was so tough. You felt like an overall SEC champion if you could win that West division, especially.
Some scores around the SEC right now. Ole Miss up on Iowa 7-5, but how about Miami 9-5 over number 4 Florida in the 8th inning?
Down the left field line, running in, looking up into the bright sky, but making the catch is Riley Hawthorne.
Now batting for the Razorbacks, number 12, Jared Sprague-Lott.
Racers made a change behind the plate. New catcher is David Stokely, taking over for Ethan Kreisen. Look out. Sprague-Lott having to duck that pitch.
big hole on the right-hand side for Sprague Lott. See this Murray State team do a lot of shifting. See right there, Bland, the second baseman, playing on the left side of second base. You can drive a boat through the right-hand side. That is a big hole.
This would be a good day to be on the lake if there wasn't a baseball game going on.
A little breezy out there. Could be a little choppy on the water.
Sprague Lott take a free pass.
Now batting for the Razorbacks, number 14.
7th walk for Racer pitching. And it's really come back to haunt him as well. Those free base runners from Arkansas really been the Achilles heel for this Murray State pitching staff. Lovich hit a bullet his last at-bat off the glove of the first baseman Howell.
First extra base hit in his Arkansas career for Ross Lovich. They expect to be the first of many. Hit 4 homers last year for Mizzou. 9 doubles and a triple. Process of hitting .306. Limited sample size, but he's made the most of his opportunities. Five of 12 at the plate is Lovich, including today. Throw a couple of walks in there.
Sprague Lott not much of a threat to steal over at first base.
Ross Lovich sat down. How about this freshman, Jacob Hostetti, making his collegiate debut? Troy, as you pointed out, and he got some help from his infield to get out of that big inning. Last inning, the 5th, after coming on, but he's retired now. 3 of 4 he's faced.
Yeah, he showed a lot of calm up there on the mound. He's really been around the zone, been able to throw the breaking ball for a strike. Tell you what, he keeps throwing like this, he's going to get some more innings throughout this whole season. Really tied up Jason Jones on that one. Not a bad fastball, a little life, and a little tail into Jones right there.
Two RBI today for Jones, 4 in the series. Now, last year, Jason started at first, second, third, and left field. He was the only player that started in 4 different positions. A few guys that started at 3, but nobody other than Jones at 4. And he's one of those with his bat. You just got to find a place to put him, and it helps that he's that versatile. Hits this high in the sky, down the right field side. Making the catch, Hogart. And the side retired. Arkansas leaves 1 in the 6th. 9-1 advantage for the Razorbacks as we head to the 7th. Will McIntyre back out for his 2nd inning of relief. Carson Garner, the leadoff man, led off the 5th with a homer, his 6th of the year.
See McIntyre really trying to bury that fastball down in the zone. Got to be careful with Garner right here. It wouldn't surprise me if McIntyre doesn't come with a cutter, keeping this ball in the outer third.
This one skied up behind second. And it falls right behind Aloy's glove. Well, it looked like he had it tracked all the way.
That wind just playing havoc out there. See, Aloy thought he had it. That's just baseball.
Mahiva Aloy reached on an error earlier in this game on a pop-up to shallow center field that was scored as an error, and he gets charged with one here.
Really good swing right there by Taylor Howell. He was right on that fastball by Will McIntyre. McIntyre just kept that ball down in the zone.
The first error of the series charged to the Razorbacks, who have been not good but great defensively, especially over the last 3 seasons. 3 consecutive years for Dave Van Horn's team, fielding it at 980 or better. They'll go to second for 1, relay to first. 5-4-3 double play. They're pretty good at turning 2 as well.
A really nice way for Sprague Lott to pick up his teammate Mahiva Aloy. Again, this ball stays down. Watch Sprague Lott stay down on this baseball and throws. It's all about the throw to the second baseman. That's right in the chest of Peyton Holt. Again, that's where the rhythm starts and a double play opportunity.
Brings up Dan Talkin. 6th twin killing of the year for Arkansas, who have been either first or second in the SEC and top 10 in the nation 3 consecutive years in turning 2. But that fielding percentage, Troy, 980 or better. I mean, if you're in the 970s, that's championship level defense.
It's the difference maker. And DVH works with each one of his infielders. He moves and rotates those infielders around all over the place because he said you never know when an injury is going to come up, so everybody needs to be comfortable at every position.
McIntyre blows it past Talkin. Ends up facing the minimum 3 in the top of the 7th. We've hit the stretch. 8-run lead for the Razorbacks.
See his numbers on Elmy. Going to send that upper 80s with that fastball.
How about the job by the freshman Jacob Estetti, though, in his collegiate debut? No hits, 1 1/3.
Very solid.
1 walk and 1 strikeout is what he finishes with.
Opponent's hitting .333 off of Elmy. Seems like he's a little more effective against the lefties instead of the righties.
Four innings pitched this year in 2 appearances. This is the 2nd time out of the pen. Holt swings and drives one towards center. Settling is Mercer. Makes the catch.
Gonna have to shoot one out of a cannon to hit it out to right field or center field today.
Number 27, Ryder Helfrich.
Brings up Ryder Helfrich. Grounded is short. Throw a little bit offline, but how about the play by the first baseman, Howell? Came off the bag and applied the tag.
Really good job of getting on the hands of Ryder Helfrich right there. And just a little bit of an errant throw right there by Vogel. He's got to thank his first baseman, Howe, right there. Tagged Helfrich right up on the shoulder, but it's about the only place he had the opportunity to tag him.
Back to the top of the order, and Will Edmondson. We were just talking about the defensive excellence for Arkansas, and Murray State has been that as well. They came into the day fielding at 975, and very similar to Arkansas, a lot of guys with a lot of versatility, so they can play anywhere. Popped up to the right side. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Kane Elmy and Murray State. We've played 7. Hogs lead it 9-1.
Slider, a little easier to develop.
'22 Gatorade Arkansas Baseball Player of the Year. David Stokely getting his first at bat of the series. Took over for the catcher Ethan Kreisen in this 8 spot. Stokely on the year, 1 of 5 at the plate.
Really big catcher, 6'4", about 225. Dawson's sporting the stash, isn't he?
He's got it working. High chopper. Now that's noteworthy facial hair on the mound and at the plate right now.
Tell you what, it is tough to pull off a good mustache.
Called strike 3.
There's that cutter right there by Dossett. Really just froze Stokely right there. Out of the hand, you think it's a ball. Just knifes right down there. That's a good job of Helfer kind of catching that baseball closer to his chest. Makes it look like it's a little lower in the zone.
Arkansas pitching so far in this series, 33 strikeouts, 3 walks. As Logan Bland bounces one to the right side. Only 5 hits allowed.
Now batting number 3, Drew Vogel.
Coach Skirk is having an offensive conversation with Drew Vogel right here.
Oh for 3 in this game is Vogel. He's on some draft boards though. Not only because of the bat that he's got, but already shown in this game that he's got elite level defense. Of White House, Tennessee. He came to the plate yesterday in the 8th inning as well. A 12-pitch battle with Gabe Gackle. The Arkansas hard-throwing reliever ended up winning it, striking out Vogel. Seemed like that at-bat was never going to end.
That's what you're going to get out of Drew Vogel, just a guy that just grinds out at-bats.
Returning all Missouri Valley Conference selection. third year starting shortstop. Got him swinging. Dossett comes out of the pen and pitches a 1-2-3-8.
How about 94?
It's 9-1. Second-ranked Arkansas in front. Murray State will send out their sixth pitcher of the afternoon. Right-hander Malik Pogue takes over.
Yeah, another big-bodied right-hander. The senior coming in this ball game. He's a three-pitch mix guy. I'll throw the fastball, slider, change. He's in that mid to upper 80s with that fastball. And if his fastball is on, it's going to have a little sink to it. So if Pogue is really working well, you're going to see a lot of ground ball outs.
Good work by the last two relievers for the Racers. Kane Elmy pitches a 1-2-3-7. Jacob Hustedi goes 1 1/3 of scoreless baseball, no hits. Kendall Diggs leading things off here in the 8th inning. Diggs with a leadoff homer in the 5th. And that's kind of what really opened the floodgates to break this game wide open. And it might just break things wide open on the season for Kendall Diggs, who was already swinging it extremely well, hitting .382. But that first home run, it eluded him. Not anymore.
As a leadoff hitter, Kendall this season's hitting .429. If he wasn't such an RBI producer, you might want to think that DVH might say, we might put him in the leadoff role.
Yeah, that's not a new trend either. Last year he had a .518 OBP when he was the leadoff. Gets sat down here. Malik Pogue, good start to this relief outing.
Yeah, really pulled the string on Diggs right there. So that was a changeup. You can see Diggs talking to Aloy as he came off the field, and also talking to Ben McLaughlin.
Aloy bounces one right over the mound. No problems for Logan Bland, though.
Really great positioning by the Racers. That's a couple balls that Aloy's hit right back up the middle that normally is a base hit, and they've been 2 outs.
McLaughlin gets the bunt down. Pogue off the mound, bare hands it, and rushed the throw a little bit. McLaughlin to second. Pogue got there pretty quick. I think he just rushed it a little too much.
Yeah, great athleticism right here by Pogue. But you're right, he doesn't know who's running. Look how much time he had to get McLaughlin out, and that's the thing. If that's a conference game that the pitcher probably knows McLaughlin doesn't run really well, and I've got a little bit more of a split second to kind of gather myself and make a better throw. They're going to call that a single with an error on the pitcher to get him to second base.
That's off the glove of Bland, and McLaughlin's going to take third.
It's kind of a crazy way to get to third base. You have a bunt, hit for a single, pitcher throws the ball down the right field line, you get to second, and the pickoff play deflects off the second baseman's glove. Now you're standing at third base.
Sprague lot to the right side, drives in a run.
I don't think Sprague Lott's going to be bragging to anybody about the exit velocity right there on that ball. A 48 hopper out to right field. How about 70 miles an hour off the bat? Sometimes you just got to be a little bit lucky, and the positioning by the racers cost him there. That's just normally a ground ball to second base, but you see Bland, he's got no chance to get there. And that crazy play allowed
Lovich, first pitch, knocked into right center. Here comes Sprague Lott. He's got the green light to try to win the ball game. There will be no throw. And Arkansas, an 11-1 ball game. Took everybody a little bit of time to realize, hey, this is the run rule in effect. Still getting used to it.